Yeah, there's too many memes and too many comedians joking about Bangalore's traffic being one mad scene and pure sarcasm on how the airport is completely in a different city. And the more recent jokes about Kannada Gottilla sir talking to the auto drivers. Silkboard will age you, Majestic will rob you, and Hebbal is just another long holiday spot. But between all of these jokes and memes, who really talks about how Bengaluru moves? Here at Mission Planet A. Welcome back to another episode of Mission Planet A. This is your host Rupa, and we are at the 15th episode of Season 2 and the last for 2025. In this last episode of this year, we have decided to do the second series of How Major Cities Move, but a Bengaluru edition. This episode is all about how Bengaluru moves, hustles, and gets through the day through the mad traffic. Now let's get right into the episode. So let's just try mapping the city, not from Google Maps or from an auto's window, but from the seat of a bus. The BMTC, or the Bengaluru Metropolitan Transport Corporation, is the city's main public bus system, which does not just take you from one neighborhood to another. It stretches outwards, connecting the core to the fringes. Now this entire system works through a hierarchy of bus stations and mobility spots that keep the entire city stitched together. And right at the heart of it all lies in North Bangalore, the Kempegowda bus station, or simply as people call it, the Majestic. The Majestic is not just one bus station, it's Bengaluru's central nervous system. On one side you have the BMTC weaving you through the city, Shivajinagar, Jayanagar, Yelahanka, Banshankari, and on the other side you have KSRTC, the state-run buses zipping you to Tumkur, Mysore, Chennai or Hyderabad. Now here's where the scale really hits you. This year, around 8,600 BMTC buses were scheduled to operate either from Majestic or passing through it to other parts of the city. That makes it nearly 12,600 trips per day from or via Majestic. Which also explains why, multiple times a day, the station simply hits saturation and authorities are forced to reshuffle and rationalize schedules to keep things moving. And remember, this isn't just about BMTC. When you add KSRTC buses and buses from other states as well, Majestic nearly handles 11,000 buses per day, which is 8,200 of BMTCs and 2,700 of KSRTC buses. The numbers are massive. The crowd, loud, overwhelming and relentless, and very, very Bengaluru. So when Majestic choked under its own success, the state had to step in and build another major bus station to the south of the city, the Shantinagar bus stand, meant to relieve Majestic. If you're someone who regularly travels through the Hosur Road, Jayanagar, JP Nagar or the Bannerghatta Road, it's almost impossible for you to avoid Shantinagar. Around it, you've got dense residential neighborhoods, packed colleges and major workplaces. St. Joseph's College, BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore Institute of Technology and Christ University's nearby campuses all sit within easy reach. And that makes it an important convergence point for students, office goers and long-distance travelers alike. Shantinagar becomes especially crucial if you're commuting through some of Bengaluru's most crowded employment corridors. Think Bannerghatta Road tech offices, Hosur Road industrial belts and the residential sprawl of JP Nagar and BTM. And it's just not about the city buses. KSRTC also runs long-distance services from Shantinagar to Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala and interior parts of Karnataka, particularly routes serving the southern belt. And then there are the AC Vajra buses, quieter, air-conditioned, but slightly more pricier. Then there is the Vayu Vajra airport buses, making it Bengaluru's most predictable airport commute. One policy has clearly changed how Bengaluru's buses move. It's the Shakti scheme. Started in June 2023, it was meant to give women free ride in non-AC government buses, including both the BMTC and the KSRTC buses. It has made daily travel cheaper, but delayed government payments has put financial pressures on transport corporations, making the scheme a constant debate. Alright, now let's move into the Namma Metro.
ಗಮನಿಸಿ ಬೈಯಪ್ಪನಹಳ್ಳಿ ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು 1ನೇ
because it's no longer new infrastructure. That's how Bengaluru is slowly moving across the city. Run by the Bengaluru Metro Rail Corporation Limited or the BMRCL, it is now India's largest metro rail networks. As of 2025, it covers 96 kilometers with 83 stations cutting across the city. The network currently runs on 3 main lines. The purple line moves east to west from Whitefield's Kadugodi all the way to Challagata. The green line runs north to south, connecting Nagasandra to Silk Institute. And the newest addition, the yellow line, links RV Road to Bommasandra with 16 stations, finally giving Electronic City a direct metro connection, something commuters have been waiting for years. Interchanges is where it all comes together. The Majestic links the green and the purple line with a bus station, and the RV Road connects the green and the yellow line, while Silk Institute and KR Puram are set to become major hubs for the airport line. The metro now serves Bengaluru's biggest work and lifestyle zones: Whitefield, Outer Ring Road, Electronic City, Bommasandra, plus hubs like MG Road, Indranagar, Jayanagar and Koramangala, all within walking distances. Daily ridership has now crossed 10.5 lakhs, especially after the yellow line was opened in August 2025. The yellow line in fact saw 83,000 commuters when it first opened. Fares remain distance-based, starting at 10 and going all the way up to 90, with more hikes expected from 2026. But for many Bengalurians, the trade-off is simple: less traffic, predictable travel, and a city that finally moves forward one station at a time. Since the metro came in, you would think that buses are almost empty, but that's not quite the case. Even on busy green and purple lines, the footfall has dropped a bit, say around 7 to 10%. But that's only because some office goers choose to commute in metros because it's faster. But in neighborhoods, feeder routes and last mile connectivities, buses are still the go-to because they are still 85 to 90% occupied. Autos and small buses are jam-packed in the mornings and evenings. So yeah, metro does save 15 to 20 minutes of travel time, but buses are still the backbone of how you want to move around in the city, especially where metros haven't reached yet. Now, if you're someone who hates to drive around or just refuses to step onto public transport, then you should know that Bengaluru's mobility app scene is huge. As of late 2025, Bengaluru's ride-hailing scene is clearly shifting. And the one common name that you hear on road is Rapido, mostly because of their bike taxis. When distances are short, deadlines are tight, and traffic just refuses to move, bike taxis are the quickest and the easiest way to reach your destination. Even when Karnataka banned the bike taxis earlier this year, Rapido did not disappear from the market. They readjusted. They brought in something called Bike Directs with reduced prices and focused on everyday customers. The ability to adapt has put Rapido as a serious challenger now, not just for Ola but also for Uber in daily trip numbers. Uber though still holds its ground in the four-wheeler space. For airport runs, late night rides or long cross-city trips, Uber remains a familiar choice. And then there is Namma Yatri, which feels very Bengaluru. It's a zero-commission app for autos and cabs, which means that 100% of the fare is retained by them. It also means fewer awkward arguments at the end of the trip. The app has allowed the city to become hyper-local, with auto stands near metro exits. What's cool in Bangalore is how the mobility apps are stitching the city together. Namma Transit links autos, metros and buses into one smooth journey, telling you the last stations, the platforms, gates and even telling you your last mile ride. Now, if you're someone who's been living in Bangalore or you're new to the city or just curious, there is a lesser known mobility: the Suburban Rails. The Bengaluru Suburban Rail project run by K-Ride is slowly building a dedicated line connecting the cities to the suburbs and the airport. Stretching 148 kilometers across 4 stations, Sampike, Mallige, Parijata and Kanaka, to link stations like SPC, Yashwantpur, Kengeri, Whitefield and Devanahalli. Think AC train every 5 to 12 minutes, 58 stations and seamless connections with bus and metro. Then you have the local MEMU trains, the unsung heroes zipping people to nearby towns like Mysore, Tumkur and Ashokpuram. Cheaper, faster and reliable for shorter commutes. Honestly, it's just how the city moves, without all the chaos everyone is just joking about. Ola Institute's Ease of Moving Index, published in 2022, drew some interesting conclusions about Bengaluru. Bengaluru, when compared with other megacities, doesn't crash to the bottom of the table, but at the same time doesn't lead the pack either. According to the report, Bangalore sits somewhere in the middle, which only shows more room for improvement. Metro rail expansion, long-term rail projects, and tech-driven mobility apps. But somehow, the daily experience still feels a lot broken. Where Bengaluru does better is future mobility and investment. There's planning, funding, and the will to push for long-term solutions. You can see it in metros under construction, suburban rail projects, and how digital mobility is just increasing. But the city struggles with seamless movement. The trips aren't smooth. People have to constantly transfer between buses, metros, and autos, and the transfer isn't smooth either. Affordable and reliable travel still remains a challenge, making it difficult for everyday commuters. On walking, cycling, and shared mobility, the picture is patchy. Infrastructure exists in parts, but it's inconsistent and often unsafe. Clean mobility and road safety efforts are visible, but they haven't fully translated into comfort on the ground. So what does the index really tell us then? Bangalore as a city is investing in movement. There are systems in place, but it doesn't feel like one system yet. What will surprise you is that even though Bengaluru still struggles on many mobility fronts and people do think that the city is expensive, according to the Ease of Moving's report, Bangalore's mobility is not that quite expensive. In the affordable mobility parameter, Bengaluru scores better than cities like Mumbai and Hyderabad and sits comfortably in the middle of India's mega cities. And a big reason for this is simple: buses. BMTC's wide, low-cost network keeps daily travel affordable for a huge section of the city. So while Bengaluru may feel slow, fragmented, and exhausting to move through, the data quietly tells us something else. This is still a city where mobility is accessible, especially compared to other big metros. And yet, the traffic feels unchanged. Even as metro footfall races, the roads continue to remain dense. Part of this is physical. Major roads have been narrowed for years because of metro construction, turning everyday commutes into bottlenecks. The city is constantly building for a better future, but in doing so, it's slowing down its present. But there's also a behavioral layer. Despite more public transport choices, people still prefer to use their own vehicles. In Bengaluru, driving your own vehicle has slowly and quietly become a marker of comfort, safety, and even status. Public transport exists, but choosing it has become more of a compromise rather than a preference. There are attempts to rebalance the city: wider footpaths, cycling lanes, pedestrian zones, but they remain poorly communicated and poorly enforced. So scooters end up on footpaths, pedestrians adjust, and nothing quite settles. What this suggests is something deeper. Bengaluru's problem is not just accessibility, it's transition. Infrastructure is moving faster than the mindset. So even with new lines like the yellow line, the feeling lingers that traffic here isn't just a technical problem. It's cultural, emotional, and deeply tied to how the city imagines progress. And with that, we end this episode of How Major Cities Move, the Bengaluru edition, and also the last episode for 2025. We release an episode every alternate Saturday, and if you haven't checked out, do check out our other episodes on Spotify. We're very grateful for all those who followed us and liked all our episodes this year. Without your support, we wouldn't have been able to do any of this. We've restarted our podcast in August this year, and we have continued it till December, and we only want to do more such stories in the next year as well. So keep listening to Mission Planet A. Happy New Year, and this is your host Rupa signing off.